welcome back to Can't Stop Art. I'm your host, Fordee. So today we're going to do a quick video out of necessity. Well, not necessarily necessity. It's something I came across and I said, you know what? I didn't find a bunch of information online, so I said, hey, let's make a video, right? So I have these fine line applicators, right? And you can use these for a lot of things. This is one that is currently not used, right? They're not that cheap, but they're not that expensive. I don't remember. I think it was like 10 bucks for a pack of two. The two come, I think, either with the same tip or one of each, right? Because I think they make them in 20 gauge and 18 gauge. Yeah, 18 gauge and 20 gauge. Now, here's the crazy thing. I use this, like you could see, these two have something inside, right? It has a bluish liquid. In fact, this one, right, needs to be shaken up. And if it gets shaken up, it's going to become more homogenized, one color, right? Because when it settles, I think some stuff separates. And what this is masking fluid. And so what this allows me to do is draw fine lines with masking fluid. You don't have to use these for masking fluid. You could use them for white glue, PVC glue, for example. You could use them for acrylic paint. You could use them for acrylic ink. Alcohol ink, the list goes on, huh? Basically, it's a small squeeze bottle applicator, and if you open this up, like if we take this first part off, I don't remember which one I didn't have clean because I just shook them. I think it was this one. Anyway, so if we go ahead and we open up this tip right here, when we take this off, right, we're gonna see, eventually, so this must be the one that's not clean because it's sticking, huh? And I'm trying not to break this. Okay, so you see this little metal piece inside this cap has a finer metal piece that will fit into this syringe. It's basically a syringe without a sharp point, right? So you wouldn't stick yourself with this. Now, just to verify, I have a piece of paper towel here. What do you do when it gets clogged up, right? Because you don't want to order another one of these. These are like $5+ each or €5+ each. And actually, this is unfortunate. It works right off the bat. That's okay. So I'm going to show you what I did because yesterday I tried to use this and it didn't work, or 2 days ago. And I was like, what do I do, right? So I came up with a few different possible fixes. Number one, when you use this, okay, especially if you use masking fluid or a glue or something like that, you're going to want to take this next part off right here. This orange, or on this one it's a blue, is actually a protection for, and you notice when I took this off, look at all the dried masking fluid that came off, right? So in fact, that's what happened to the other one. It got clogged with masking fluid. So you can actually remove this syringe right here. And when we do that, like if it wasn't flowing, you can do one of a couple things. Number one, take everything apart, right? Like I have now. Then with this separate from everything, you could take this top and you can press this in. And if you do it without anything else, this will go all the way through to the other side. You'll notice, I'm assuming in the top-down camera, this comes out a hair past the total amount. Now it's wet right there, right? And if I use this tip, I can start to take some of that out. I also have an X-Acto blade. I could reach in there and try to get any excess gunk, right? And when I say gunk, I mean the dried stuff, right? So as I'm taking that out, boom, this should now be more usable. And again, if it was still clogged, you can press it through again. Now, what happens if you have problems pressing this through? Because this is actually not that easy. So we're still going to use my secondary fix. And my secondary fix is this. Take a small cup. This is a small plastic shot glass. Take this tip, throw it in there, right? And what we're going to do, turn it upside down like that so the needle or the point is facing down. We're going to take some alcohol. And this is 96% alcohol. We're going to fill this up and we're going to leave it. Leave it for 24 hours. Tomorrow, of course, a lot of this alcohol is going to evaporate. So I don't know how well you could see in this camera here. I only have it slightly above that cap. So ideally, I would put more because the reality is, like I said, 15–20% will evaporate overnight. And again, we're going to leave that. Now, tomorrow, there's actually no difference. All we'll do is take this, press it through, and it will soften what's in there because the alcohol will eat away at it lightly. It's not a crazy acid. It's not a crazy solvent. I'm probably not using the right words, but it will loosen the stuff up, will be allowed. And that's what I was able to do and how to fix this one. However, there is another option also. So let's say that you don't want to go through all this. You've got tons of time on your hands and tons of money, or you don't mind wasting, or you want a different size tip. All potentially legitimate reasons where you could buy different tips, right? Are they called tips? These are syringe needles, right? Now, these are all different sizes. I bought it as a variety pack on Amazon. And I'm not sure what these are actually used for. What they're normal use for, if it's for this or for something else. But this is exactly the same thing. Now the metal part, the metal point is a little bit smaller than the one that comes with this, but we should still be able to turn this and put it on, right? And we do. And now if I turn this around, boom, look at that. We now have this working with this other tip. Now, how do you clean this? If we twist this off, and we take this to the bathroom, I'm gonna drop it in this alcohol just because I'm doing the video, right? But ideally, we would take this in the bathroom, run water through it, and it would clean this out. Or of course, you could drop it in some alcohol, like so, etc., and that's gonna help clean it out, and then you're not gonna experience these clogs. Guys, I hope you found this useful because for sure I did. You know, I wasn't even sure what to do because I searched online looking for other people saying, what do you do with masking fluid clogging your squeeze bottles? Or in this case, this is just a brand, Fineline, but there are other squeeze bottles. I have other squeeze bottles too, like for example, stuff like this, right? And in here is acrylic enamel paint, but it could be something else. And if it gets clogged, how would you unclog it? And the fix, I think, is alcohol with a smaller tip to go inside. And technically, one of the cool things about this is the variety packs, some of these are super fine. So technically you could use some of these needles probably to push through thicker ones, right? The bigger the number, I think the larger the gauge, right? So for example, this might be a 30 gauge. I don't know. So going down to 12, it keeps getting smaller, smaller, smaller. Anyways, guys, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. You know the deal, baby. Until next time, I'm out.